And welcome to Two Fats, One Ugly. We're short one today. Brian, he's not here. He's not dead.
No, he's not dead.
He's not here.
He's just up north for the holidays. All right, so let's go ahead and just get right into it. My team, the Steelers, they just deserved to lose yesterday. I mean, they just looked terrible. They did. Von Bell tweeted earlier in the week when Juju was talking about his old dancing TikTok videos. And
oh, man. How nice was that to just watch him get blasted, bro?
oh, man. I mean, I'm not saying Juju doesn't deserve it, but that is kind of disrespectful to do it on another team's logo like that. Yeah, Von Bell, I mean, I'm glad it was him of all people because he's an Ohio State product. But
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
no, I mean, Von Bell, he even called it out when the week started. He was like, that's extremely disrespectful. I don't like that. And it's a division game, so they're even going to play – we're going to play even more with fire, and you just added fuel to that fire.
Yep.
So
That was great. Great watching him get blasted. Man, Pittsburgh, dude, falling apart. Falling apart.
They are falling.
Still sitting high? We do number 2, number 3 seed right now?
We're number 3 right now. That loss put us tied with the Bills, and the Bills have the tiebreaker over us because they beat us 2 weeks ago. So the Bills have the number 2 seed currently, and we're number 3.
What was that score of that Bills game?
26-15, I believe.
That ain't bad.
It's not
Bills
terrible.
got a good squad, though. But, I mean, your two
do.
other losses are what? Washington and now
Washington.
Cincinnati?
Oh,
A
okay.
third-string quarterback?
So Cincinnati, there's no excuses. Washington, they have one of the top 5 defenses in the league. And then they
Overall, or are you talking about just the front?
Overall, I mean.
Overall.
I think so.
I got to pull that up. Jamie, can you look that up, please?
No, I think so for sure. I mean, that front 7 is just disgusting. They don't give quarterbacks enough time. I mean, Russell Wilson struggled with them. It's I don't know.
Russell Wilson's been struggling a lot the last.
He has, but
he ain't been the first.
the Redskins.
First 5 or 6 weeks, man, he was MVP conversation. Now
The Redskins don't get blown out. Maybe I think they had one blowout game to the Ravens earlier this year, but they don't get blown out.
yeah, but look at their division. They played Dallas.
No, but they
Pretty
played the
good.
NFC West this year. They didn't get blown out by the Rams.
Let's see where.
They didn't get blown out by the
Oh,
Cardinals.
Washington is. So yards allowed, they're 4. But again, I mean, how many? Giants offense is nothing. Dallas has been struggling.
Right. I know they have a weak division, but I'm saying other teams they have played, they have proved to be dominant.
I just want everyone to know, Justin thinks every team is bad until Pittsburgh plays them and loses to them, and then he comes up with all these excuses for, man, they're really not that bad. They got some good players and whatnot.
I mean, they have the defensive player of the year on their team. That's my vote.
The Ohio
right
State
now.
product.
Another Ohio State product, and Chase Young, and I mean he's proven he's defensive rookie of the year. Sorry, not defensive player of the year.
No, because he's going to say that one goes to T.J. Watt.
No.
Oh,
T.J. Watt.
Oh, things have changed in the last 2 weeks, bud.
Man, the last 2 weeks, T.J. Watt. I mean, losing Bud Dupree has been huge to him because now people can focus solely on him. I mean, Alex Highsmith. I mean, he's a great rookie. I think. I think he's the team rookie of the year for Pittsburgh. But he's just.
If you're a defensive player, though, man, you got to be able to do that through double teams.
I agree. I agree. Watt's been struggling. He really has been struggling. He struggled last week with the Bills, and their right tackle wasn't all that great, and he had his hands full. He got blocked by tight ends yesterday. I mean,
Gatorade, not a sponsor.
I just going back to this Juju thing. I was listening to the radio the other day, and it was Brady Quinn. He actually made a very good point. He's talking about Juju dancing the past few weeks. First off, you're getting your ass beat weekly now. Why are you doing it? I mean, I get why you're doing it. You have a certain persona. You want to keep going.
And he ain't that wrong. I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard this from another source, but Juju hasn't had a 100-yard game since AB left. I don't believe that. And Jamie looked that up. But
yeah, for watching every game, I don't know. I would imagine he would have some success. Last year he didn't have Big Ben, so he had the injury bug last year. So last year he wasn't really productive. This year I think he had a couple 90-yard games, but nothing anything crazy. But also going back to He needs to stop dancing. I mean, he said,
does.
why is there? Well, I mean, why does he have no teammates stopping him? Like, why aren't the veteran players like Ben or Pouncey or Watt? Like, come on, man, what the hell are you doing? Like, cut this shit out.
He's
like,
following AB's foot.
you need to
What's up, bro?
focus on playing the game. Go warm up. Get ready to play. Come out and play and prove, and like have fun after the game. Like don't focus on the game. And then James Harrison a few years ago when he left Pittsburgh to go to New England, he talked about the coaching qualities of Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick, and talked about how Bill Belichick is a much better coach simply because he doesn't tolerate any fucking nonsense. And Mike Tomlin is continuingly allowing this to happen, and he just has no discipline. And this isn't the first time Tomlin's discipline.
I mean, he wasn't like this when he first got there, right? Wasn't he pretty? Was he not strict?
Tomlin?
Yeah, when his first 5 years in Pittsburgh.
Not really. I mean, I've never seen him. He's never dropped the hammer on anyone.
Well, he needs to.
I agree.
I'm glad he isn't. I'm glad he isn't. I like watching you suffer, but
no. But last night's game, just the O-line was just terrible. How are you going to have 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen on your roster, on your starting lineup? I know we have our starting left guards on IR. We have our third guard because our backup even got hurt too, and he wasn't in there yesterday. But still, one offensive lineman, and Alejandro Villanueva. I like him. I think he's above average tackle. He's not a Pro Bowler. He's above average, though. I'll give him that. But he just can't. Carl Lawson had a day. This is coming from a Bengals team to have 16 sacks up to this point in the season. Like you're averaging just over a sack a game. Like you're not getting any.
I mean, that's less than 1 right now.
Oh, we're on week 16 right now.
Are we on week 16?
Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
Season's almost over?
Yeah. So it's just and their best defensive player, so their top 2. I'll go back. Carlos Dunlap got traded to the Seahawks a few weeks ago. Geno Atkins, their star, he's on IR. Their best player right now is Carl Lawson, and I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a good player.
Because he beat your ass.
He did. He got the best of.
We're in Key West, Mr. Lawson. If you ever want to come, kick his ass.
He got the best of the offensive line yesterday, and I don't understand how a team with 16 sacks and Ben's the least sack quarterback, and he went down a few times last night.
It's because he has to get rid of the ball so quick. You guys got no run game. He's third in the league in pass attempts and 18th in pass yards per game.
Yeah.
You guys run sweeps, quick screens. You guys look like the Miami Hurricane offense this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. And Snell had the better game, I think, offensively than any other player. Snell had 18 rushes for 84 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's better than what we've been used to seeing.
Yeah, but you're playing
lately.
a pretty trash team.
You're right.
You should
You're
get
right.
that.
We should get that. But as a Steelers fan, I'm looking at a positive in that because the run game has been over 50 or 60 yards lately. So
Are you over Ben?
am I over Ben? No, I'm not over Ben.
You want him to be a quarterback next year?
I do. I think he
What?
can come back.
You are insane. You're insane.
This is my
I
ideal.
respect Ben Roethlisberger.
This is my ideal scenario.
He needs to
right
go.
here. I want Ben to come back and play next year. I want the Jets to take Trevor Lawrence, and I want Pittsburgh to pick up Sam Darnold, have Sam Darnold play under Ben for a year.
Well, Jets are sitting at number 2 right now. But either way, I mean, they might take Fields or they might trade back.
But I've been thinking, I was just reading into the whole draft of Jacksonville taking Fields and the Jets taking Lawrence because they had the number 1 pick. Justin Fields, when I was reading, he fits that scheme down in Jacksonville a little better than Lawrence would. So I think the Jets would still take Fields.
Jags could be cleaning house again, though. They could be bringing someone in with a different scheme or whatever.
You're right. And I do think Doug Marrone's going to be gone.
But I think Fields is going to go to the Jets. Not.
I don't think so.
The Jags. You think the Jags are going to pass on Trevor Lawrence? I'm a big Gardner Minshew fan. I would love to see Gardner Minshew stay out there, maybe trade back from that pick and build a team around Minshew. But I mean, Trevor Lawrence is.
I wouldn't trade back. I mean, unless you would get.
Do you think the Jags should take Fields over Lawrence?
For right now, I think so.
You're high, dude.
I mean, I'm not saying. I don't know. I just think. I don't know. I can't. I just think that would fit that scheme better. I think Lawrence would do well in New York. I think that should be his ideal.
I think Lawrence is
place.
going to do well anywhere he goes. But
See, I don't think so. I don't think anyone's going to have a rookie season in the next for this generation anyway. I don't think anyone's going to have a rookie season like Herbert. Like Herbert's going to break.
they said that about Mayfield like 3 years ago. And then here is these quarterbacks are so much well equipped to come out and do that now.
Yeah, but Baker came in with talent on his roster. They didn't. Herbert, yeah, he's Keenan Allen. He's got Mike Williams, but
Henry.
okay, Henry's a little above average tight end. Who else do they have?
No.
Austin Eckler is an elite. Their offensive line isn't that great. He's always out the pocket scrambling.
I think we're going to see a quarterback play like that their rookie year at least every 2 years.
Yeah, you're right. I don't.
They come out so well prepared now, dude. You do all these camps, your 7-on-7s, and all this other stuff. It's not like
you know what?
10 years ago.
That's a good point because I remember growing up watching college football and all these quarterbacks just run all over the place. But now,
Why is it on ESPN that all the analysts, all the dudes that tell you what a quarterback should be doing is all the ones that didn't make it in the NFL? You got
like what?
you have who's the guy you brought up earlier? He played. Was he a Notre Dame guy? Brady Quinn.
Brady Quinn.
You got Brady Quinn up there. You have Matt Leinart up there, there's another quarterback, and it's like they tell you what to look for in a quarterback and what a quarterback should be, but they're the guys that didn't make it in the NFL.
All right, well, let's go back. I mean, he got drafted.
You guys are obviously more talented than me. I'm 28 years old, 5'7", 200 pounds.
I mean,
I'm a piece of shit. I get it.
Quinn got drafted by the Browns, who had no one. I mean, at that time when he got picked, they were consistently
Okay, what about Matt Leinart?
getting smacked. He got drafted by the Cardinals. Same situation.
Anquan Bolden and Larry Fitzgerald, are you going to say that's the same situation as Cleveland?
All right, you're right. He had better receivers, but the offensive line was worse.
I don't know. And I think Leinart was a lefty, wasn't he? That's why lefties are pieces of shit. I'm a lefty, so I can say that.
No, I don't know. I think, I mean, you're right. You make good points. Nowadays, the college quarterbacks going to the NFL are more prepared, and I think they're better. I think Zach Wilson's going to be good in the NFL.
I hope so. Go BYU.
I definitely think Zach Wilson's going to be good. I don't know too much about Trey Lance. I know is he still the third overall quarterback right now? I don't know.
I think it depends on what list you look at. I think most of them probably still have him
That's three.
3, and then I actually think a couple of them put Wilson above Trask.
Oh yeah, Trask. Mac Jones is coming in there. Where do you put Derek King? I know you're a Hurricane fan. Where do you put Derek King coming to the NFL?
Miami fans, I'm never going to tell you my address because I don't want my house burnt down. I love Derek King. He definitely brought a spark to this team that we desperately needed at quarterback. But him in the NFL, I mean, I don't know. He might go 6th or 7th round and be a project. He could be a Taysom Hill type player. If he played receiver for a little bit, he had a kick return or punt return when he was at Houston and all that stuff. I mean, he's very, he can do it all. And if teams want to, use the Taysom Hill, have that type of player on their team, I think he's equipped for that. But there's no way he's a starting quarterback in the NFL in the next, 8 years.
So 6 or 7, that's a fair, maybe undrafted. What team do you see him going to?
I don't know. Whatever team wants a
what
project.
team do you think could set up with that Taysom Hill setup he's got up down in New Orleans? What team do you?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I hope he gets drafted. I really hope he gets drafted. I was kind of hoping he'd come back.
Yeah, that'd be a good product
for another year, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did more for the Miami program than people give him credit for. I think he helped with bringing the recruitment. I did. I mean, I do.
Well,
I mean, I hate Miami. I do. I hate the program, but I do like what. From what you've told me about Manny Diaz, I do like what Manny Diaz has been doing to the program. I think he's a great coach and a great fit for that program. Man, there's
so many people that hate him. They're like, why are we settling for
I think
not championships? Like, we're excited we made a bowl game. It's like, bro, we lost to FIU and Duke last year in our bowl game against Louisiana Tech, which was Manny, right? But then he completely cleaned house on the offensive side.
The talent. I mean, last year you had the best probably defensive player you had in years.
Greg Rousseau.
Sorry.
Man, if he would have came back, dude, if we had him, Phillips, and
Rochet.
dude, that would have been nasty.
I still see even Rizzo opting out. He's still projected first round.
Yeah, but I think a couple things I'm seeing, they got Phillips going above him now.
Yeah.
I think the thing people are worried about with Rizzo is that he has 1 year of tape. That's it. He was redshirted. He played his freshman year. He's started playing like week 2 or week 3. I mean, he took over. Dude's a beast. But I think that's just one thing that worries him, or that worries teams, is it was just 1 year.
Yeah.
But teams are taking chances on that. Dwayne Haskins, he had played 1 year, had like 50 total touchdowns.
Yep.
So, the dude's an athletic freak, Greg Rizzo. Dude's a freak, and I wish him the best, and I hope he goes to Green Bay, because we need some defensive end help out there.
I mean, I think you can make that argument for Trask as well. Last year, Trask didn't play well. They always did I saw the games I watched last season was they did split snaps with the other quarterback they have, that he only comes in when he wants them to run the ball.
Well, I think the other Felipe Franks, I think he started last year, right, but got hurt. Is that when Trask came in?
But
if we're wrong, let us know.
If Trask even came in though, and he didn't have that much different talent. But this year, he had a full year start or full practice.
That's what Burrow did.
You're right. He had a full off season, and I mean, he came in and he played lights out, and he's a Heisman finalist. I mean, I don't think he's going to be anything special in the NFL, but he could prove me wrong.
I hope not, because I hate Florida.
He could prove me wrong. I don't think he will, but he could prove me wrong, like I said.
Hopefully, Chicago Bears will trade up and take him.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be in the market for a quarterback. The
Bears might trade up to 2 and take him over Fields, over Wilson. That'd be great. Chicago, please do that. I hate you.
Yeah, I think Fields would destroy the Packers. Don't worry. No, I just
the Smith brothers are killing him.
Yeah,
taking his head off.
Right,
if Preston Smith's even there next year, they're talking about he might go. Rashawn Gary's kind of playing
pretty solid.
He's playing good. I mean, he didn't get too many snaps last year because he was sitting behind the Smith brothers, but I think it really let him work on his craft. And I mean, when he's in there, I mean, he's making plays. Not an all-star, obviously, but
you know why he's not an all-star? Because he went to Michigan. No, I'm just kidding, Rashawn Gary.
Please don't kick our ass or his.
Please don't.
But I mean, who knows? I mean, if we cut Preston Smith, it'll save some cap or whatever. Yeah. Rashawn Gary's, I mean, he's a first-round pick, so I know his contract's decent, but it's not. I think it's probably cheaper than what we signed Preston Smith to, because that free agency class of him, Zadarius Smith, and Amos was pretty hefty. Which, I mean, they came in, they were immediate impact players, but Preston Smith really slowed down this year, so they might just go with Rashawn Gary and Zadarius outside, which I'm fine with. But the Packers need defensive end help, dude. Our run defense is terrible. We need a middle linebacker. They wasted this draft. Bro. We could have used that first-round pick on a receiver, a middle linebacker, or a defensive end. Or use that second-round pick on a middle linebacker. The defense, Aaron Rodgers can't score 50 points every game.
I think your defense needs more help than your offense right now. So I would have went defense if I'm the Packers GM.
If there was, I mean, there's plenty of defensive ends sitting there.
The way I've been thinking about this lately, about the Packers, and they're in a win-now situation. Like, they really are.
Yeah, well,
you're losing Aaron Jones next year. You're not paying him what he wants.
Man, I hate giving running backs money.
You're not giving
most of the time it doesn't work out. I mean, honestly, I don't know what we have in A.J. Dillon, but if we have A.J. Dillon and I'd rather keep Jamal Williams because he's going to be a lot cheaper than Aaron Jones. But at the same time, if Aaron Jones goes off somewhere and kills it. But he's hardly ever healthy. I think this is, his 4th year. I think last year was his only season where he was healthy. 14, 15 games.
No, I mean, I just think this is a win now for the Packers. You guys are going to possibly, I don't know if it'll happen, possibly lose Rodgers after this year.
I'm so torn on that, bro.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Packer Nation,
listen to me. It's a real possibility.
I want Rodgers to win another Super Bowl. And if that means not doing it with Green Bay, so be it.
So you'd be okay with him going to Chicago?
I would hope he wouldn't go to Chicago. But if he did and he won a Super Bowl, I want him to get more rings. And Green Bay is not going to do it for him.
You thinking put Aaron Rodgers on the active quarterback for the Bears right now, and he would shred that Packers defense right now. I think he would.
Yeah, I mean, Favre did.
I mean,
his first time playing.
I mean,
the first 2 games when we played him, when he was in Minnesota, he destroyed us.
He's throwing on Jair, and
I don't think he would disrespect Jair like that. He'd go after Kevin King. Kevin King's
I don't know.
a freaking scrub.
I really like the Allen Robinson Jair matchup. I do.
I do too.
I think that's a great matchup
because Jair got him.
I think Mooney would destroy Kevin King. He would burn him.
You could destroy Kevin King. Kevin King is trash, bro. I'm sorry. I was so hyped on him when we drafted him, but he had 5 picks last year or something like that, and like 2 of them were off pass interference that didn't get called on him, and the other ones he was just in the right place. It was Amos and Tremont Williams, batting the ball that just went to King. None of them was King being a beast.
Yeah.
None of them. He's always hurt.
And then you're talking about your best player. Your best defensive player is Jair, I would say.
Him and Kenny Clark.
Yeah, so you pay Kenny Clark. You're going to pay Jair. If you don't, the Packers organization is dumb.
Well, I don't know. We let freaking we let Micah Hyde go, which really pissed me off. And we also let go of
Clinton Dix.
And
Hayward.
I'll come back to Clinton Dix.
Hayward.
And Casey Hayward. Dude, yeah. he was like our number 3 corner, and he had like 7 picks for us one year. I don't get it. I love the Packers, but man, they piss me off all the time.
Yeah, well, that's why we're fans, and that's why they're GMs. They think they know what's best. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh man!
But I do think the Packers are in a win now situation. If they don't win this year, then they're going to lose some players, and I think they're a little underrated on offense right now. When I say that, I mean like the weapons that Rodgers has around him. And I know you're going to disagree.
This is something we've been talking about all year.
Oh yeah. So let's just go right off the bat here. You told me some stats about Valdez-Scantling, right? You told me like he has the most touchdowns of like 40 plus yards.
In the last like 2 years, he has. Tyreek might have broke that last week or 2 weeks ago when he had like 875 yards in the first possession of that game.
Oh, he was playing the Bucks too. Yeah, he had 200 in the first quarter. 200 receiving yards in the
first quarter or first half?
First quarter.
That's stupid. That's absolutely stupid. I can't remember who had him in fantasy in one of our leagues, but that dude had like 60-something points. They said it was the most points in fantasy since like 2008 or something like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I just
no. Valdez-Scantling is a scrub. The dude drops. So. He makes one big touchdown every 4 or 5 games. That's not a weapon.
I mean, he's been scoring consistently.
Consistently.
This year. Yeah. Yes.
I wouldn't say consistently.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. I still think he's a better.
You know how many catches he had last week?
Target. How many catches?
0. How many had the week before? Pretty sure it's 0.
No, because he scored.
The dude's a scrub. The dude is a scrub.
Anyway.
And so let's rewind here and go back to why this conversation came up. And we were talking about MVP races for Rodgers. And at the time when we first started talking about this is when Russell Wilson was still firing all cylinders.
Mahomes was.
Brady's always going to be in that category because he's freaking Tom Brady.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't put him in there at all.
Tom Brady hasn't been playing that well.
And you keep telling me that Rodgers has weapons. It's like, bro, if you would have put Rodgers on the Chiefs, and let's remind people, MVP does not mean you are the best player. MVP is the most valuable to your team. If you were to take that player off the team, how much of a difference would it make? If Aaron Rodgers is not on the Packers, we win 2 games this year. If Matt Castle is the quarterback for the Chiefs, they're still winning like 7 or 8. Rodgers is the most valuable player in the league, and he does not have anywhere. Put him on Tampa. Give him those weapons.
Okay, I agree. Tom Brady should be the MVP, or he shouldn't be because of the weapons he does have in Tampa. Tampa's offense is, on paper, the most high-powered offense, and then you got Kansas City next. And then I look at Green Bay.
We have Devontae Adams, and next to that we have Alan Lazard, which most people probably don't even know who that is.
You got MVS.
Yeah. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's a scrub. Equanimous St. Brown, freaking Notre Dame product. Of course, he's a scrub.
You got fucking Adam Jones. He's good. Tonyan, who you keep saying is trash, but consistently,
dude, I know
behind Kelsey for touchdowns this year.
Bro,
I know he's open online.
The way I look at Kelsey and him is Kelsey trucks people. He makes the contested catches. He does all that stuff. Tanyan is just open.
How is that Tanya's fault? He can put himself in a position to get
Because
open.
no one's worried about him. They should be now. I mean, he's scoring touchdowns, but...
And then you got Jamal Williams. You got a good duo running back. You got a good running back duo. And I mean, if Adam Jones keeps getting hurt... Aaron Jones. I don't know why I keep calling him.
You said Adam Jones a second ago, and I was like,
I
who's he
know.
talking about? I'm just going to let him run with it.
My apologies. Aaron Jones, sorry. If when he's hurt, like you keep saying, is Jamal Williams comes in and it's like Jones isn't gone. I don't think he's significantly better than
Aaron
Williams.
Jones helps our pass game a lot more. I mean, Jamal Williams had a great receiving season last year.
I think Jamal Williams had one of the best touchdown catches by a running back that I've ever seen last year. I mean,
Aaron Jones had one over the shoulder, and I think it was against the Chiefs last year. He had one over the shoulder, which was great, but he's not healthy. He's not consistently healthy.
Yeah, I mean,
but
I don't know. I think the Packers have more weapons than what you give them credit for. I do. I don't think they're not Tampa status. They're not Cleveland status. They're not Kansas City status. I agree. You're right. They still have one of the best offenses in the league, and I know Rodgers contributes to 99% of that, but they still have weapons that you're not giving them credit for. They're still professional football players.
Oh, don't give me that shit.
What?
Don't give me that. All the times you talk about when you're playing teams, when you're Pittsburgh, oh yeah, we should kill them. They're a bunch of scrubs. Oh, but they're professional football players. So.
You're right. Because the Steelers on that matchup should have won yesterday. They should have won yesterday.
But they're playing professional athletes, Justin.
They are playing professional athletes. You're right. And that's what I made this argument a couple weeks ago when they barely beat the Ravens, and everyone's like, "Oh, they beat their practice squad." Blah blah blah. Well, no, they didn't. They beat their backups. They had everyone but two or three starting defenders on that defense. That defense is, I would say, top ranked. You're not going to say the Ravens defense isn't that good.
No, they got some ballers on there.
Yeah,
for sure.
they didn't have Calais Campbell, which is huge. He's their best player defensively, in my opinion.
The last great player from the
but
it's been too long.
So
Miami.
they didn't have Campbell, they didn't have Brandon Williams, they didn't have the front line. That's it. They had all their linebackers, they had all their secondary, minus their one safety, but he's been out the whole year basically. But they had most of their defense starting, and people were like, "Oh, they beat their JV squad." Well, no, they still played their starting defense. Their defense is still solid. I mean, they're great. And I hate.
I mean, they're
playing twice a year.
They're not what they were last year, though, man. I don't know what happened.
I mean, RG3 was the backup. He's not a
RG3
string.
still.
He's not a JV squad.
I'm glad that man stayed in the NFL. That man's still grinding, doing his thing.
Yeah, he had a huge run. The offense wasn't completely terrible. They missed a couple offensive linemen. Yeah, Lamar didn't play, but what really helped, I mean, they still have Gus Edwards. They have three solid running backs that they could put anyone starting, and they would still have almost 100 yards rushing. They didn't have Mark Ingram. They didn't have Dobbins, but they still have Gus Edwards, and he had a day. They have Justice Hill. He had a day. RG3 ran the ball. Trace McSorley even ran the ball. Like I don't know. People were talking a bunch of trash about that game, and I mean, they still have a.
And then a couple weeks later, you lose to Washington and Cincinnati.
And then we lost to Washington the following week, right? And then
I like reminding him.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I mean, I think the Steelers should be in panic mode. I do. Defense plays on the field way too much. They get tired too easily, and they can't.
You guys need O-line and a new quarterback.
I'm not ready to admit the quarterback thing yet.
It's time to move on, bro.
I'm not ready.
It's time to move on.
I'm ready.
The man brought you to 3 Super Bowls. It's time to move on.
I'm ready to get a replacement. Ready. I'm not ready to just fully all right, Ben, get out. I'm not ready for that. I think he has one more year. He's got one more year left on his contract. He intends to play.
They're going to pull a Phillip Rivers.
And then another thing I heard, so yesterday before the game, reports came out that Ben said he plans on playing next year. Why are you worrying about next year? Why are you not worrying about the game tonight?
Was he asked?
He was asked.
Okay, then he has to answer the question.
Well, why are you? No, I mean, I don't know. But why are you putting? I don't know. Me personally, you need to be focused on game to game this week, and I just don't feel like they're focused on playing football.
Do you have any plans tomorrow?
Huh?
Do you have any plans tomorrow?
Do you have any plans?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Is the whole point you're trying to make here?
If you get asked a question, you're going to answer it. If a reporter's like, "Hey Ben, do you plan on playing next year?" Yeah. Okay, cool. Move on. Just because he says yes, I don't think that means he's not focusing on the moment right now.
And then the weekly after the weekly post game interview is always like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be playing anymore, this and that.
Hey, I dealt with Favre retiring like 5 times.
Yeah, he's been doing this every year, just like what
he
Favre
just needs
did.
to go, bro. He needs to go.
I don't think so though. I mean, I would really my ideal
He needs some youth.
scenario for Pittsburgh to get Sam Darnold on board and keep him, put him as the replacement for Ben. Let
Dude,
him
go
play
after
Ben
Gardner.
for a little bit.
Go after Gardner Minshew. Minshew mania, bro.
I wish Josh Dobbs would quit being inactive on a weekly
Here we go.
basis. I hate Tennessee, but I wish Josh Dobbs would stop being inactive because, I mean, if Ben actually does go down like his injury-prone career has been, I want Dobbs to come in instead of Mason Rudolph.
Freaking Mason Rudolph.
Yeah,
Dude got his face bashed with the helmet.
And now we're potentially in jeopardy of losing the division because we have the Colts this week, and the Colts are a good squad, and then we have the Browns to close out the season.
I'm not sold on the Browns yet, though, bro.
I'm not either,
I
but-
love Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
love the dude is so cocky, but I like it.
I hate Baker. I absolutely hate Baker Mayfield. Mainly because his Oklahoma days, and I am so salty about that matchup. When he came to Columbus and beat Ohio State in their territory.
Your boy got him back and did the little flag thing
Yeah.
and whatnot, but
You want to talk about Juju being disrespectful? That was the most disrespectful thing you could do. But
I like that one,
I'll
though.
give you credit. You did win the game. You did. You did win that game. Juju does that and he loses. So
and hasn't had a 100-yard game since AB left.
I don't know if that's true.
Dude, Jamie, did you find that yet? Come on. Jeez. So keeping on youth at quarterbacks, what if Miami had drafted Herbert instead of Tua? How much better do you think they'd be right now?
Miami. Oof. I mean, I think Tua's doing enough to win games. He's not.
I don't
special.
think. I mean, their defense is killing it right now.
Yeah, they're the number 2
But
scoring
I don't know
defense.
if you can keep relying on that. I mean, I'm not sold on Tua yet. He could be great. I don't
not sold
know.
on him at all.
But Herbert, man, I think if they had Herbert in there right now, they'd be all right. They'd have a couple more wins. But that's what you get for drafting a left-handed quarterback.
I don't know because that offense. I don't know. I guess the protection and they have three rookies. On the
And
offensive
they're not
line.
playing bad.
No, they're not.
I mean, they have a huge running back committee.
I
You got
think,
Devontae, you got Gesicki,
I think.
you got Grant,
Yeah.
um,
They
Williams,
have weapons also.
Preston, is it Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got a decent squad, and that
Yep.
defense is killing it.
Tua just needs to make better decisions. I was watching the Patriots game this past weekend, and he threw a perfect pick. He was rolling out, and he had.
I don't know if you can say he needs to protect the ball more, because how many picks does he have? And how many games has he started now? 4 or 5? I don't think he has that many picks. I think he's pretty careful with the ball, but
He
to
is,
me, it's
but
all
I'm-
check downs and stuff
It
like
is.
that. But my brother, who's a huge Dolphins fan, he's like, that's all he needs to do. He's like, they didn't draft Tua to come in and throw 350 yards a game. They figured with that defense and the running back committee, which I think they thought their running backs would be a little bit better than what they're playing, that they'd just be able to
Yeah, I mean, you make
play that style of football.
You make big free agent signings like Matt Breida, who just had a hell of a season up in San Fran. Then you have Jordan Howard, who is a nice one punch.
I was looking forward to Balaj or whatever his name was, but I don't think he's on the team right now.
No, Balaj got traded to the
Yeah,
Chargers.
yeah, and that's who I was excited about.
Yeah. No, I mean,
But there's so many running backs in the draft, and they still have all their draft capital. They still have, I think, 2 first-round picks this year. They can draft another running back in the second
the
round.
Steelers' defensive tackle, he was a second-year guy now, so he played with Najee Harris. He keeps tweeting about Pittsburgh drafting Najee Harris
Or
in the second round.
y'all need
I
to fix
think-
your O-line first.
I think he'll be available, and I'd be.
Maybe a free agent signing, draft one in the second round. You can draft pretty good offensive line in second,
I've
third
been
round.
seeing a lot about Villanueva not being signed again after this year because his contract's up, and I mean I would be okay with that. If we get I would do a free agent signing. I don't know if I would necessarily draft because there's only a couple like studs in this draft of offensive linemen. They're going to be gone by the time we get them.
How the hell did the Jets beat the Rams?
Because Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. Their offense have wanted it more. Mekhi Becton. People aren't going to agree with me on this. Mekhi Becton,
Man,
that big ass
they
left
wanted it
tackle.
more, dude. Every time I YouTube Skip Bayless getting owned videos, I love watching those. Skip Bayless is an idiot. way more successful than me. I'm a piece of shit. I get it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
But I think it was when the Heat played OKC
Yep.
for the title game, and he said that the Heat wanted it more, and Mark Cuban was there, and he was like, "Do you listen to yourself when you speak?" I just went on and said, "What do you mean they wanted it more? How does the team want it more? I don't think you could say the Jets wanted it more."
No, I just no. I mean, Aaron Donald.
Shout out to Mark Cuban, being a sponsor.
I know Aaron Donald rolls or plays in different positions on that line, and when he was
That dude's a freaking
against,
animal.
he is. I agree. He's a potential defensive player of the year.
Again,
He's a finalist.
how many does he have? 2,
I have no idea.
1 or 2, somewhere in there. I don't know. Dude's a beast.
But I know him and Watt have been keeping pace with each other for sacks. Watt's kind of slipping a little bit, but I don't think Donald had a sack Sunday. I mean, Sam Darnold gets the ball out of there, but at the same time, Mekhi Becton, the 6'7", 365 left tackle they drafted with like the number, I don't know, 4 pick.
Is that the guy that was doing the jump squats out of the pool? I remember saying that draft night. I was like, holy
he's
shit.
a very big, scary man, and I watched the Frank Gore touchdown, the 1-yard touchdown run by Frank Gore.
Still repping, man.
Yeah, Mekhi Becton. I watched a slow-mo replay, and he just owned Aaron Donald. He threw him around like nothing. And I mean, Aaron Donald's a strong guy. He'll come out and tell you he benches 500 pounds. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of weight. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
So you get used to him throwing around tackles and guards left and right, but Mekhi Becton just wasn't having it. He was having a day. He looked good.
I feel so bad for Darnold, bro. I think if he was on any other team, I think the dude's got the talent.
I want him in Pittsburgh so bad.
But how long has he been there? 3 years, 4 years, somewhere in there. Hopefully this didn't ruin him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think he still makes good decision making. He can still be mobile. He had one of the best runs by a quarterback I think I've seen all season when he played. It was against the Broncos. I mean, the Broncos don't have a terrible defense. I mean, the Bills.
When healthy, I don't really keep track of Denver, but I know
I mean,
they've had some injuries. But when they're healthy, I mean, at least that front seven still is pretty nasty.
And Sam Darnold just shredded him on like a 46-yard run. He even did like a little fake slide.
Oh, jeez.
A little fake slide. That was one of my.
Was that pretty early on?
That was like week 4 or 5, something like that. It was a Thursday night game. But yeah, I would love to have Sam Darnold. I think Denzel Mims is going to have a good future in the NFL as a receiver. I think Jamison Crowder can still be a number 1 receiver on most teams, not all. But I mean, they have a good squad. They're starting to build that offensive line up. So people talking about Trevor Lawrence is going to get absolutely destroyed there. I don't think so. Their defensive line is getting better. Their linebackers is getting kind of solid. They did trade Avery Williamson away to Pittsburgh earlier. They traded deadline.
Man, I know you can't pass up on Lawrence, but so they have 2 first-rounders this year and 2 next year, right, from that Jamal Adams trade?
Yeah.
Why not just try to surround Darnold? But they're going to completely clean house this year.
I think
and
so.
whenever a whole new team comes in, they always want their quarterback.
And I'm pretty sure I would start, if I'm cleaning house, I'm starting up top. I'm starting GM. Get his ass.
They all
out
need to
of
go.
there.
Adam Gase should never been an NFL coach.
Get new coordinators. Greg Williams.
You see what he did at Miami, and you're like, you know what? We need him. What the hell are you thinking?
Greg Williams, he has just been, man, he was a defensive coordinator for the Browns, and he's just I think he's a terrible coach. I think he's good. He's a good.
Was he the defense coordinator for New Orleans during Bandygate? Okay.
Yeah.
Headhunting, I mean, that's lit. I don't condone that. You shouldn't do that, but
he has a great defensive mind when it comes to like setups and like his play calling. I like that.
He should have been coaching in the '80s, which he probably was. Maybe he's been around forever, but
I don't like his aggressive.
I like aggressiveness, but he just takes it.
He takes it
one step too far.
I think that's why Myles Garrett is the way he is now. That's what happened last year to Mason Rudolph.
And we don't know what Mason Rudolph said to him.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so.
He could have thrown some words out there.
Yeah, I'm not making a race issue here.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
No, I'm not. Let's just move on here. I don't know. The Jets they don't have bad. Like, they have talent. People just like to write the Jets off because they don't have very many wins, just like the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals are good. Don't get me wrong, because I know they just beat Pittsburgh. That's not what I'm saying. The Jaguars
with a third-string quarterback.
Okay, let's go to the Jaguars here for a sec. You're right. They did lose to the third-string quarterback. You're right. James Robinson. Why is he not offensive rookie of the year?
Did you rip ass?
No, that's a chair.
No, I smell it.
No, I'm being serious. It's the chair. Yeah, James Robinson. I don't know why you're going here. No. It was a chair. James Robinson. I know Herbert's probably gonna get rookie of the year, but James Robinson should be a finalist for it. I think. I mean, for an undrafted free agent to have the most scrimmage yards.
I mean, that's lit, bro. But you were just saying how Herbert has no weapons and all that.
Herbert does have. Well, he's got Keenan Allen.
Okay, so what we were just talking about before, you're like, he has Keenan Allen and what above average
and
tight end. But now when we're talking about rookie of the year, like, oh, look at all the weapons he has.
I'm not saying he has weapons. I'm saying that Herbert has. I'm saying Herbert is able to make plays. He has the most passing touchdowns by any rookie ever.
I thought he tied it.
He tied it, but he has 2 weeks left. You tell me he's not going to throw another passing touchdown
before
the season's over.
Unless he gets hurt. Don't get hurt, Herbert.
I'm thinking he's going to have like 32, maybe 33. Oh, maybe not. I think he can. I think he's going to give the Chiefs run for their money. Week 17. I do.
Man,
I truly do.
I'm not a fan of the Chargers by any means, but I know they've been the injury plague happens to everyone, but their injury plague the last 2 years on the defensive side of the ball has just been something I've never seen before.
Yeah, the more I'm thinking about it now, that matchup in Week 17, Mahomes already has the number 1 seed. The Chiefs have the number 1 seed. They're not going to play their starters. They have extra week to do a bye. Why would they? They're not in jeopardy of losing that.
Did they already clinch one?
If they win this week, they will. I mean, the next 2 teams are 11-3, the Bills and the Steelers. They're 12-1, or 12-1, 13-1. Anyway, they're
but if they win this week,
if they win,
they're
playing
locked.
Atlanta.
They're playing who?
The Falcons.
Oh.
All right, Maggart.
Yeah, Maggart. How's it feel, bud?
Oh, another. That's why we're talking about the Falcons. They did it again with Tom Brady, 17-0, and then you end up losing.
I'm telling you, bro. Scrolling through Facebook yesterday, I saw a meme, and it was the Super Bowl and Sunday from that game, and both times it showed Tom Brady by himself with his head down, and it was like, when you see this, just give up. You know what's coming.
If I'm in Atlanta, next time I play Tom Brady, actually in 2 weeks,
I would hire Greg Williams right now.
No,
for your defensive coordinator and headhunt.
I would do something better. I'm pulling Eli Manning for one more final game.
Oh, jeez.
Because we all know Tom Brady can't beat Eli Manning.
Eli Manning, he's not good, bro.
He beat Brady.
No, his defense beat Brady.
Twice.
His defense held him. No.
Okay,
no, Manning. He made one great throw down that sideline.
So both times Eli had to run or drive down the field on that top defense.
Going back to that one play where he threw it to Tyree. You see all the defensive players stop. And how many times do you see a player in the grasp like that? I mean, obviously play through the whistle or whatever. But his escapability. But him throwing that ball, it was a prayer. Then David Tyree was a scrub who all during practice that week he was dropping everything. And I'm pretty sure he might have got cut after that game. Yeah, Eli Manning, he's not good. I don't think he's that good.
I don't think he is either. I think he will be in the Hall of Fame.
That pisses me off.
I mean, he's got stats. I mean, Ben finally hit 60,000 yards yesterday in a terrible performance.
How many pass yards did they have in the first half?
I don't want to talk about that.
Was it 7?
No, they had 19.
19 passing yards.
Career low.
In the first half.
19. It was like late in the second quarter. I even saw 5 for 13 for -2 yards. 5 passes, -2 yards. I mean, how do you do that? Come on, Ben.
He needs to go, bro.
I don't think so.
He needs to go.
No, he needs his receiving core. The oldest one is 23 years old. They have that much experience. Eric Ebron got hurt early in the game yesterday. I know he's had.
They've been catching football since they were 6, though.
I know.
Why you get to the NFL and you can't catch them now is beyond me.
Okay. Okay. So when me and you throw football back and forth, are we throwing like
I don't get paid.
Are we throwing
I don't get paid
lasers?
$18 million to freaking do it. I
Are we
understand.
throwing
I
lasers?
understand dropping them every once in a while. I understand you're gonna drop some.
No,
but the amount of drops that you guys
no
have.
excuse. I agree.
Then why are you trying to make excuses right
I'm
now?
not.
That's exactly what.
No.
When we throw a football, you're trying to make excuses.
No, an NFL quarterback when they need to fit a tight window, they throw a rocket.
They're all professional athletes, Justin. They're
throw,
all professional
do we throw
athletes.
rockets at each other? You're
No,
right.
I'm 5'7", 200 pounds. I'm a piece of shit. I get it, Justin. You say you're not trying to defend him, but you are.
Yeah, I am gonna defend him. I am.
No, you gotta fucking burn him. You gotta be a realist.
No, they shouldn't be dropping the ball. I agree. They're getting paid millions of dollars to do this, and I agree they shouldn't be dropping the ball, but they
As
are.
much as they do, obviously you're gonna drop some.
Yeah,
But the amount of drops. I mean, the fact that Tomlin had to tell all his receivers next person to drop one is getting benched.
he benched DeAndre
He benched
Thompson.
him, but then all the other ones were so bad they had to put him back in.
They did come back in the second half, and then he learned his lesson. He finally started catching the ball. He had Ben had an errant.
Did he have all 19 yards in the first half yesterday?
No, he did not.
Oh man,
No, I think there was a few yards of Juju.
he was riding high and mighty a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, we're getting close to the hour mark here. We should probably wrap this up. Whatever you guys want us to talk about, go ahead and comment that down below.
Yeah.
And make sure you subscribe and hit that like button.
Well, let me ask you one more. Let me get your thought on one more question. Who do you think should have hit that number 4 spot in the college football playoffs?
I don't know, bro.
Oh.
I'm so torn on that. It needs to be 8 teams. They need to get rid of this 4
I agree.
crap.
And this was the year to do it. With the being COVID and everything was all messed up with the season. I think this year should have been the year they
I mean, the
played
fact
with
that the Big Ten had to change all their I saw a meme. And Ohio State is a really good team. They probably should be in there. But I saw something that was like, Ohio State said they're not going to play the season next year. They're just going to wait for the playoffs.
Well,
I don't know,
when
man.
You
You
get
got
the number 1 receiver, number 1 quarterback, and number 1 defensive end, and the number 1 player in the country in the recruit class. I
There we
think
go.
we're going to be solid again next year.
Okay, that's what
Yeah.
we'll talk about next episode, and
Football.
we'll include some comments or something like that.
Yeah.
But first episode, this will get better.
So go ahead and comment below who you think should have been in that 4 spot in the playoffs.
Or if you think some of those other teams that are in the 4 spot shouldn't have even been in there, like Ohio State.
I mean, I agree with the number 4. That shouldn't be in there. I don't think Notre Dame should. But anyway, we'll talk about that next episode. All right.
And hopefully Brian will be here. We recorded an episode the other day. We had some technical difficulties, so we kind of had to reboot, figure out some stuff. But Brian should hopefully be back pretty soon. We're missing one of our fats.
Yeah. I'm fat number 1. He's fat number 2, and then he's the ugly.
All day.
It's so ugly.
But on my way to fat, so pretty soon it's going to be fat. I'm going to be fat and ugly. We're going to have to change the YouTube channel name.
Or just have to completely redo it. So.
2.5 fats. I don't know. Be some. But thanks for watching.
Hit that
again,
like button.
and please subscribe. Thank you.